Hi, I'm Active, and today I'm going to talk about is Barbie Fashionistas the worst doll line out there? I've been doing a few of these videos lately where I just kind of sit down, give you my thoughts, talk about controversial topics or topics in the doll world that I want to talk about and I want to give my opinion on because I can. So yeah, at the end, if you have an opinion, if you want to share, I would love that. So share your opinion. But today I'm going to be talking about are Barbie Fashionistas the worst doll line out there? And honestly, I can't really say. I mean, no, I can. I don't think they're the worst. I think the biggest reason that I want to talk about this, as you may be able to see, other than the fact that there are random dolls sitting here, I have quite a bit of the Barbie Fashionistas. I really do like them. I don't know, there's just something about them. But they get a lot of hate. People always say they're like the worst doll line. And I tried to find Reddits on them, but honestly I couldn't find very good ones other than people saying like why did they change up so much? And then people making videos on like ranking the worst fashionistas, so I couldn't honestly like find Reddits, which is what I like to read. So I'm giving my thoughts and things that I've seen throughout doll collecting. So if you are in the community anywhere, you probably hear people talk either positively, most likely negatively, about the Barbie fashionistas, depending on where you're at. In different doll groups, so I want to give my thoughts and talk about them, but that's what I'm using because I couldn't really find a good Reddit of people talking about it. So obviously if you don't know what Barbie Fashionistas are, I'll be talking about these ones right here. I think they were in 2016, 2015, 2016, but they were, the Fashionista line was originally earlier than that. Honestly, like I feel like Life in the Dream House era, which I don't know what year that is. I should have written dates down, but I didn't want to. They originally had that line. They had more articulation, better outfits, as people always say. And then they changed to later to less articulation dolls. They have 5 points of articulation. The other ones I think had like arms, elbows bent, wrists bent, knees bent, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have any of them, but they changed up to these ones. I like Barbie Fashionistas. There are 200 now. I don't think they've made it to 300, but I could be wrong. So they've made quite a few dolls over the years, and at least 2016 is when they started, but I could be off of that date. So they're like popular enough to where they're making lots of dolls. I shouldn't say that I don't think they're at 300 because honestly I haven't bought one in a while, but so they've been around for a little bit, and that's like the biggest thing that I see people talk about, and I personally think is probably one of the worst things that they could have done, which is take the fashionista name when Barbie Fashionistas were a thing already, and so then they made like lesser quality dolls, so people are already gonna hate them. They're gonna have a distaste. They should have just completely gotten a different name for the line and made them like simple dolls. I don't know, give them a better name, because it's when you're taking like lesser than what the line was, I don't know, it's just, I feel like that already started off pretty poorly for them to do that. But anyways, then they started making dolls, and I love the first few lines that they did. When I started collecting, maybe that year, a year after, that's when I think they started to go downhill personally. But I remember when I first started collecting, I would go and find older fashionistas. I thrifted like 2, actually. I'll go find one because I have one. Give me a second. I brought her over. I have very few dolls that are in box, that like I plan to keep in box. Actually, I debate whether or not, if I were to get like all of the fashionistas that I want, which would be probably most of them, I might end up convincing myself to take this doll out of box. But I got her at Once Upon a Child, not important. She's in box because this, where is it? This says she's number 1. Technically this boy's number 1 too, but she's not actually the first one that they made in this line. I don't know why she says number 1. They made ones before and then her. I don't know. I'm confused on that, but I like that she was like number 1. So that's why she's in box. But anyways, when I first started like collecting, I would every once in a while I'd come across one of these, and because I really like the Fashionista line, especially when I originally started collecting, I would like pick them up all the time, and I would stare at the back. I don't have most of the backs now. I got rid of them because like they just take up so much space, but I would stare at them. Okay, all the little characters on the back, and honestly, for me personally, it's hard to find ones that I think are like bad, like I dislike them. Honestly, I can't really see any here. I feel like maybe this one I like lesser. I don't know, there's just something about her shirt. I actually love the donut one. I think that one's so fun. But nonetheless, like, I don't know, it's personally hard for me to find ones that I dislike. I think all of them are really cool and I like them a lot. And the reason why I'm saying this is because around the time that I started collecting, I can actually remember one of the ones that like I absolutely despise. I don't know, there's just something about her. I don't she will not be a part of my, actually honestly I shouldn't say that because one day I might come across her and pick her up, but the one Barbie Fashionista, I feel like she has pigtails and she is wearing zebra print, maybe it's just black and white pants. Like her outfit looks yoga, maybe it's checkered. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but that doll, I just did not like her. I don't like her at all, and it doesn't help that I don't think I like yoga looking dolls, because I also am not the biggest fan of the Cinderella Illy Forever that they did. So I feel like I don't like yoga dolls, but anyways, doesn't matter. Didn't like her, and that's when I really started to notice that I feel like they kind of went downhill a bit, because then I started finding more dolls on the back of the boxes that I just didn't love. And that is how I decide if I like a doll, if I want to get it, is if I like them, if I'm like, oh, I like this, you know what I mean? And so if I'm like looking at them like, no, then that's how I know that they're going downhill. So that's what I've kind of noticed. I feel like even like with like t-shirt dresses, like I love the t-shirt dress dolls, but I just feel like a lot of them I was like, I don't like this look, and that's my thoughts on them going downhill. I do think that they slightly are just getting less things that appeal to me, and I don't know if it's like there's other dolls out there that I really want and that's what's happening, or if just in general their designs are getting worse. I've been taking a look at some of the newer ones, and it's not saying that all of them suck, because there's quite a few that I like. I feel like in the newer line there's that gold, is she wearing gold like one piece that I really like? I like that one. I keep seeing her in stores. I think that one's cute. There's quite a few that I like and I want, like the braces one. Yes, she has a t-shirt dress, but it's like rainbow and she has braces, and I had braces, so like there are ones that appeal to me. But that kind of brings me into why I think that the Fashionista line is important and I would like it to continue to be successful, and why I think, again, like it's successful and it does well, because Fashionistas has been around for a while. They've been making lots of dolls. They've made like at least over 200 dolls. So they're successful enough to continue to go and keep at that $10 price point. They might be $11 now because of like inflation, but I haven't really seen that go up too much, I don't think. But they are successful, whether or not people, adult doll collectors, or doll collectors, think they are. They have to be successful because they're continuing, so they're appealing to somebody. And I think for me the most important thing about them and why I like them is the diversity, not just I don't know, the same doll over and over. That's what is like the biggest thing about Fashionistas, is you can find anyone in the line. Like there's someone there that's going to look like you or have similarities to you, and I think that's why it's so fun. And just again, like I look at these dolls and like they all look different. I don't know, there's just something about that appeals to me, which is why I like them. I can like pick up a doll and I can be like, she doesn't look like anybody else, which I like. It's not just diversity and ethnicity, but other things. Again, I mentioned the braces. One of them has braces. That one appealed to me. That's one that I want. I haven't gotten her yet, but I do want her, and it knows its target market because that's what I want. They have one with a prosthetic leg. I'd love to see a prosthetic arm because that would be fun. I think I have two of her, maybe three now. I don't see her. I don't know where she's, oh, I have, actually they're right next to each other. That's so funny. You can't see them. Okay. They have made, oh, she just kicked her crotch. Okay, so they made the pink one here. This one right here is she's got, sorry. She's a silver prosthetic. This one has a purple prosthetic. She has pink hair. Sorry, I said pink one. And then they made which I really want that doll. I think she's so pretty. I want her so badly. The gold, I think her leg is gold. And she's so pretty. I love her outfit too. Her hair, it's hairdo, I don't know, it's so fun. I really like that doll. So they made that. They have made dolls in wheelchairs. They've made quite a few of those, and those ones are priced higher. They're I think $15, which is really, is it 20 now? Now I can't remember. Those ones are nice because again they kept it like lower price. And then who else did they make? They made, oh, is it called a vitiligo? I can't remember how to pronounce it. I have this one. I have yet to get the others. I really want the others, but I just haven't gotten them. I like this one. I got him at Five Below. So they made this a boy. I don't know if they've made a boy with a prosthetic leg yet. They made sorry, putting him back. They've made, I don't know what she's supposed to have, but she is bald, and I don't know if she's supposed to, I guess, like, you can have her be whatever you want. If she has alopecia, or if she has, I don't know, shaved her head. I guess that is for you to decide. I would actually love it if they made, like, a doll specifically for, like, alopecia with, like, slight hair. Actually, I don't know if that doll has eyebrows. I guess you could, like, draw them on or put, like, a little tattoo or something, but I wonder if she has eyebrows. Anyways, not the point. The point is they made lots of dolls. They also, two big ones. They made, what'd they make? Oh, they made a doll with Down syndrome. They made actually I think there's two now, blind and one with a hearing implant, right? They just did the one that is blind, which is really neat. So they're doing a lot of like fun things now and like making more like for diversity and stuff, and that's what I think is really cool. But obviously when I started collecting, there was less of that. There was just, I mean, I think the ones that had come out were the one that I got, which is the bald one, and then the vitiligo I feel like was a pretty big one as well. So there weren't as many, but now they're doing that, so they're making it like more people can like see these dolls and be like, that is supposed to represent me. That's really cool. And I like that. Also, like, I guess after mentioning all that, I shouldn't just randomly mention like they have different colored hairs, which is what appealed to me. I as a kid would have loved that, having, I guess there were probably dolls that had colorful hair, but I don't think as many. I mean, I had a doll who had like red hair, like it's the Rebeldi, whatever her name is. I don't know that one's name, but because I had a different name growing up. I don't know why I got a Rebeldi doll, but I did, and I loved her. Anyway, she had like red hair, and I loved that about her. Actually, I had one who had like pink and purple highlight. Anyways, doesn't matter. The point is that they also like appealed to me as a kid because blue hair, I would have loved her. Anyways, obviously like the big issue with them is that people always bring up is their like cheap clothing, and I do think that that is true. There's some that I think actually have some pretty nice quality clothing, but like this girl, she's got a cute shirt on, but I don't know how to, it's cheap and it is disappointing. But again, I'm more so paying the $10 for her face, and that's a big thing that people use these dolls for, is like rebodying them onto stuff. The only disappointing thing is a lot of them have like pixelation. I'm not actually seeing it in this doll, which is really cool because she's one of my favorites. But quite a few of them have pixelation. I could actually probably pull any of the other dolls and they'll have pixelation. They also give a lot of options for boy dolls. I had like 2 boy dolls. Not that I would have gone into a store and picked up boy dolls, but they also have a lot of boy dolls. Lots of diversity of representation there. But like I said, and like a lot of people point out, they have a lot of repeating clothing, so like t-shirt dresses, which can be kind of disappointing. And they also have a lot of cheap clothing, which is again annoying. I've heard that people say things when it comes to diversity in dolls, and people say like, well, this doll line is really good with their diversity, and I've heard people mention, well, any doll line can do it, but no other doll line has to this extent. MGA has never, I shouldn't say never, I don't know an MGA doll that is in a wheelchair. Yes, they could make a doll in a wheelchair, but they haven't, you know what I mean? The only dolls representing further diversity other than like ethnicity, not pushing that aside, but representing anything other than diversity in that way, I think MGA, I'm trying, because like that's the big one. Not many other companies have really done anything, but MGA they have done, what, I can't remember what it was for. I want to say it was for alopecia, but I honestly don't know if that's, maybe it's for cancer. I don't remember. They did the line with the Bratz dolls, and then they also did Moxie. It was around the time when Moxie was out. Those dolls, they made three of each doll, so 3 Moxies and 3 Bratz were representing that. And then I think most recently Rainbow High did a doll with vitiligo, but other than that, I really can't name any that come to mind that is meant to represent any sort of diversity, again, outside of ethnicity. I think that personally it's important to bring up other doll lines when talking about this, is because, like I said, I've heard people say like any line can do it, and I'm sure any line can give a doll vitiligo, but I don't see it happening. I don't see doll lines doing like other stuff, and I'm trying to think like other companies making dolls that represent, but I'm not sure that they do. Not only that, but like we don't see as many diversity within ethnicities. We're not seeing like this amount, and obviously it's harder to do that with when there's 4 characters in a line, but I don't know. It always, whenever I talk about like doll lines with like, you know, different ethnicities, different characters and stuff, I always think about like Bratz and how everyone always like pats them on the back. I always mention it because it always bothers me. They pat them on the back for their diversity. There was 4 characters and they were all different. And then when you buy merch of Bratz, it's hard to tell who Yasmin and who Sasha is. Yeah, I've bought in Bratz merch and been like, who is that? Anyways, I had to bring it up. It always bothers me, especially when like Isaac Larian, sidetrack, sorry, Isaac Larian will like post things about like their diversity. Anyways, I think the most important thing for me to personally mention about Fashionistas before closing out, because I don't have anything else to say, it's the most important thing to note and to take away from Barbie Fashionistas is they're giving lots of diversity for a cheap price, and I don't think that there are very many doll lines that actually do that. Very rarely are there a doll line that is like under $10. I can't really think of very many other than Barbie Fashionistas, unless you say like they're $10.99, I think, maybe $11.99. Honestly, they're kind of getting high, I feel. Anyways, maybe I'm wrong. Very few. So Barbie Fashionistas, who else is there? Zuru, they have a brand, and then I think Hair Amazing makes some under $10. There's probably others, but I can't really think of them. A budget, unless you could also count, I think Bratz has some under $9.90. Are they $10? I bought mine at Ross, but I don't know how much they're going for. I bought one at Ross. But other than that, there's not really that many doll lines that are under $10. Like Naturalistas, I think is over. I think they're 12. Same for like Latinistas. And then the only other ones that I can think of is the Fresh dolls, and those are like $15. And if I'm missing some, I do apologize. I'm sure that there are some out there, but I cannot think of any that are currently in market that are under that price, because even like the budget Monster High dolls are still like $15. But I think that Fashionistas is a slightly cheaper alternative, and they give you lots of options for dolls. And not only that, but they're in my opinion, they're successful. Whether or not you personally or doll collectors are buying them. I do think that there's doll collectors. I think a lot of Barbie collectors buy them. I hear a lot of people in Barbie world sometimes praise them. That's usually where the praise is coming from. It's kind of like the Barbie color reveal. Like, those were so successful among kids. So it really is just the market. But I just wanted to note that I feel like there aren't that many dolls under $10 with diversity. Now, mind you, if you go up a couple bucks, you've got Naturalistas, you got a whole bunch of dolls. And again, a lot like Naturalistas are the same kind of idea. They're 5 points for articulation, very like simple fashion, that kind of thing. So there are dolls around that, but for being such a big line with lots of diversity, you've got blue hair, you've got all rainbow hair, you got braces, you got all of this. They're doing it and I like them. I just want to talk about them because I do really like Fashionistas. Is that they're there for a reason. If you don't know, they're supposed to be cheap dolls that are for people who, I don't know, an easy thing. I kind of think about it as like, either obviously it could be for somebody who doesn't make a lot of money, who, you know, is buying a gift. It's like that cheap alternative. It also could be like a gift, like you did really good this year for school and they're buying it for a kid. It has its purpose for whatever purpose that is, and I don't know, it's a cheap alternative for some more expensive dolls. And that's what's important, is that they're not, I don't know, they're not supposed to be, you know, a $30 doll that's gonna have a lot of effort put into it. And I think if you take that and you buy a Fashionista and then you buy a made to move body and you head swap them, that's what, $25, if the math is correct. That's $25. Why does that not sound right? Anyways, let's just say it's that. That's like the price of a Rainbow High doll. And you could be like, oh, well, Rainbow High has a second outfit. No, they don't. Not anymore. They've also gone up in price. Anyways, so, or they have accessories. I think they have accessories now, not just a second fashion. Doesn't matter. It's practically the same price. Or not as less than that. And so you could think about it that way. Do they have the greatest quality fashion? No, but like I said, a lot of people don't use them for the fashion. I think their fashion is cute. You cannot tell me. I actually think that this one has nice fashion. She is so pretty. I bought her because I really liked her dress. I thought she was really boring. Do you want to know something that I have come to the conclusion, but then with this doll, it like falls through, is that Fashionistas, I've seen it with like other doll lines too, but Fashionistas made me like recognize it, except this doll is excluded from it because I think her outfit's really cute. They give like, this is probably a bad thing to say, I feel like they give dolls that they think are going to be unsuccessful really nice outfits, and then dolls that they think might do better, they'll give really like ugly outfits. Maybe it's not on purpose, but I always notice that like the blonde Barbie, which I feel like so many children are blonde, they're buying the blonde Barbie. I did it as a kid. They always have the most ugliest outfits on the planet. I'm like, oh my god, why she look like that? Kind of like that one that I was telling you I didn't like. I don't have too many like blonde Barbaras in here. I don't think that all of them have terrible outfits, but I'll notice that if there's like a really ugly outfit, it'll be the blonde one or the white doll. She'll have like a really ugly outfit. And it's like, well, I'm not buying you. But anyways, that's my personal, but then again, you might think that I have terrible taste when I say that I have both dolls. They kind of look like they're wearing PJs, but these are some of my favorites. This one is Dream Often. I have a lot of the dolls that I have are the curvy ones because, I don't know, number one, the curvy ones go on sale all the time. If you are like, oh, I really like this curvy Barbie, wait for her, she'll go on sale. So I always pick them up when they do. And then I also have this one, and she's in like the same kind of outfit, but they're some of my favorites. The Unicorn Believer. Okay, they're in like the little t-shirt dresses, but they remind me of like pajamas. That's what I pretend that they are. She's actually in a really cute outfit. Anyways, the curvy ones are my favorite. I don't know, there's just something about them. So like if you're like, they're not all the blonde ones are in ugly outfits. Oh, that's what she likes. Yes. Anyways, I really like these. Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is that my opinion doesn't always represent everyone's. I personally like Fashionistas. When I started collecting, I didn't have a lot of money, so this was a fun way to be able to get like dolls and like, I don't know, not have a bunch of blonde Barbies on my shelf that like all look the same. That's a big thing that I like about them, is that they don't all look the same. People always say dolls like OMG, they all like have the same face. I don't see that. They're all colorful, so they're all different. But this was always a nice way to, I don't know, have just different representation. And so many of them are like, I don't know, just I like their fashions. I personally don't have an issue with a lot of their fashions. The t-shirt dresses are not things that I am super bothered by. There are certain outfits that I do dislike, but I actually really like Fashionistas. I have very little negative things to say about them. Yes, lack of articulation is annoying, but I don't have that big of an issue. I think as a kid I would have loved Barbie Fashionistas because they would have been a cheap alternative for me to get lots of dolls, because as a kid I wanted like quantity over quality. Does that make sense? Like I wanted an army of like little plastic women to play around with and like pretend that they were all mad at each other and fighting and trying to attack each other, and that was like my play. And so I personally would have loved Fashionistas, and I do as an adult. I love them. I think they're so fun. Again, they have different things. They're not just diversity through ethnicity. There's this girly who has a green mohawk, and I love her little overalls. Also the height difference, there's petite, there's the regular height, your basic Barbie, and then tall. They also have curvy. I would love to see like more body types because I think these are really fun. Monster High is also incorporating a lot of this. You're getting curvy Dracula, who's a bit more curvy, and then the Caddy, who's curvier. I feel like Abby might be curvy as well, but I don't know if she's like the same as Dracula or not. So there's like other like metallic groups are finally incorporating it, but we didn't see it as much. Like Monster High, they did have, is it Finnegan who was in a wheelchair, but we aren't really seeing, obviously that's made by Mattel, but not as many doll lines really incorporate it. And I think that's one thing that I personally really like about Fashionistas, is that they're, I don't know, they're just lots of diversity and they're fun to look at, and I think they're cool. And if you need a cheap alternative to add diversity into your collection, I do think they're fun. But I know that a lot of people don't like them, and I would like to hear your opinions on why you might not like them, or why you do like them, why you think that they're the worst doll line. But I honestly don't think that they are. I think there's a lot worse doll lines. Obviously the little Barbies, the dolls that they sell at the dollar store, did you know that they like got made to move knees? Is it made to move? I think it's made to move knees. Anyways, not the point. I do think that there are worse lines out there, but I like Fashionistas, so I would love to hear your opinion on if you think they suck, because I don't think that they do, but I love reading people's comments, and I'm sure a lot of people think that they do suck. Anyways, I'm back to Pub. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Bye!